welcome to another episode of My Worst Date. I'm Cassie.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Christina.
And it's 2022.
Yeah.
And we started off.
This episode lands on my birthday.
That's right.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. The big 4-0. So feeling that, tiptoeing into a new year and a new decade of my life.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. I actually really feel like you left so much behind in 2021.
Amen.
That this is the perfect time for you to be turning 40.
Yes.
And the perfect time for you to be starting a new decade because it's fresh starts all over the place, which is your favorite.
It's that
of all time.
Capricorn energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like Capricorn, Virgo, and Gemini.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like literally, I love a clean slate. I love a fresh start.
Yep.
So, yeah. I think the last episode's title, Cautiously Optimistic, is really kind of where I am right now.
Definitely, because like I for sure am tiptoeing into this year. Like for sure. Like usually, like last time I came in guns a-blazing was 2020. So I feel like I learned my lesson.
Right.
I'm tiptoeing. However, I can't help but feel like it's gonna be good. Like I just feel like it's going to be good.
I will say that I made the mistake 2 years in a row because definitely 2020 for sure. We were like, yeah, it's going to be. Everybody's like, it's our year, bitch.
We were like roaring 20s. Here we go. We didn't mean the plague. Jesus.
Yeah, right. Jesus Christ. No. And then 2022 or 2021, I was like, yep.
You're like the worst is behind us. It couldn't possibly get worse.
No, we're getting out of it. We're heading out of it. Vax girl summer, here we come.
Here we come.
And then the Omarion variant swung in, oh god,
like a wrecking ball.
Oh god. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed.
It's good.
So literally, for our quote unquote New Year's party, I was like, I'm wearing a onesie. I don't want 2022 to think I expect too much of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I just couldn't casually, just a onesie, like a real,
I welcomed the new year in leather pants. So that's the energy I'm bringing into the year.
I had a lovely pleated dress and heels, and I did dress up, which I immediately took off. So actually, when the clock struck midnight, I was in pajamas.
Yes.
I kissed Eric. And then promptly fell asleep to an episode of Repo Men.
Wow.
Excellent. Yes.
I don't know if you guys
Love
are
that
familiar with that show.
But can't wait to hear about it.
About people that go and repossess people's planes and boats and yachts and stuff. And then it's like
and cars, right?
And we watch the upscale ones because then we watch rich old men get into fights with the repo guys.
God.
Yes.
It is.
What a weird concept for a show.
I'm in.
That is so
You
strange.
had me at old white men just crying about losing their yacht.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Dude, one of my brothers was a repo man for a while, like for cars, and he was like so fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
That job is so fucking dangerous because people will fucking pull your guns on you and shit.
Yes.
I love that the sound of old white men
crying,
hitting each other is what lulls you to sleep. Like you're like,
I was
flap,
out like
flap.
a baby.
I was
flap.
like, my lullaby.
You're like, fuck capitalism, take their yachts.
Exactly.
And the sound of your tears is sweet.
So that's the New Year's energy I brought in.
Wow, incredible. Well, I will say, I didn't make it to Taco Bell last night because it was cold, but cold. it was cold, closed by the time I was headed home. So I can at least say that like I didn't, fall asleep with a taco on my chest or anything.
Yeah.
So that's good. Right?
I smoked my last cigarette last night.
Hey.
Yeah. I actually had been semi-quitting for a while. Like I'd quit. But knowing we were going to go to Vegas, I was like, I'm going to give myself a pass. So I bought one pack of cigarettes for a Vegas trip. I had a few left last night, and I was like, we were kind of semi-partying. I was like, I'll smoke the rest of them. Done. I no regrets. I am like, done. I don't miss it. I'm not like craving it. I hadn't been either. Even in Vegas, I was like, well, it was more of just doing it to do it.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. When a lot of other people are doing it, it becomes this like group activity.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how a lot of people get into smoking and stay smoking because it becomes that like social thing that you do, you
Oh,
know?
God,
and I
yeah.
totally understand. I understand that, but I love that for you, Cassie. I'm so happy.
I am a cold turkey quitter. So is my son too. Dylan quit smoking too.
Excellent.
And he's just like, no, I'm done. They're just like, he's been done for a month.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's great.
Super proud. And I know it's not a New Year's resolution. It's just a thing.
You know, I hated New Year's resolution.
You hated New Year's resolution, but I'm proud.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, Keegan, you're dry.
Yeah, doing dry January. With,
I think I'm gonna do that too.
I go in with the exceptions of, if there are exceptions to be made, I go in with them so I know what my goals are. So I will drink at your birthday party.
Okay.
And I will drink on Anthony's birthday because it's a celebratory kind of thing. But outside of that, no. And I really do feel very ready for it. Like I was saying how like when we were in Vegas, it was just like, I mean, that's what you do in Vegas. It's just like drinking and doing the thing and like all great. But I really feel it in my body right now where I'm just like, it's just time for a nice little break. I think
that's why it's good to do. I think it's great for us to do a Vegas trip at the end of the year because it does give us that like, here's our last stand and we're going to have this fun time knowing that we're going to like have a little bit of a reprieve coming into January, take a little break from it. But I also am going to do dry January, but I hesitate just like with anything like a resolution or things like that. I hate to put like a time limit on it or a whatever. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
Like I'm just, you know what I mean? Like I feel like the pressure of it and I don't like that.
I like having set goals for me. It's why like workout challenges work for me.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like those kinds of things like work for me because I like to have a set like regimented. I'm doing it for this period of time. I know what my expectations are for myself. Yeah. For me, it's not pressure. It's like my expectations are set and I know what I need to adhere to. It's my Capricorn moon energy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have that
look
strong...
at my plan. These are my resolutions. I like write them out. I have a thing. I have like reminders and everything like that set throughout the year and little.
I like it. It keeps me on track.
I love
think it's also partially like I do project management for my job. So having like milestones that like you need to meet. Yeah. There's something about, it's the same thing we were talking about, Christina, where it's like that same energy of checking off or crossing out something on a to-do list.
Cross off
I like feeling that like accomplishment.
I have a real strong don't tell me what to do energy, even myself. I don't even like myself telling me what to do. I'm like, nah, I'll do what I want. And so it's like, oh, you have to because it's still January. I'm like, yeah, no, fuck you.
Shit would go off the rails for me so quickly if I had that mentality because I would be floundering in the middle of the ocean, you know.
But see, yeah, like I know that about myself, and that's why it's like almost like a subconscious thing. Like I'm not going to do it. Just done with it.
Yeah,
you know.
But you know, when we were in Vegas, though, like I was like, oh man, this is the energy we're going into Vegas with because the first night, you know, we. I wasn't feeling super well, but then I rallied and like we went down and we were hanging out. And then Anthony left to go join you, Christina, and Eric.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to stay in the room. But he took my like tall boy White Claw can because he put a drink in it to take like on the road.
Those things are so fucking expensive, by the way.
Oh my God. I spent so much money, like a stupid amount of money on
White Claws.
Cheap alcohol. Like
rude.
But anyway, he poured it into one of those glasses that they give you in the hotel.
Yeah.
And so I like went to sleep and then I woke up and I was like, oh, like past Keegan was so thoughtful. She got you some water because she knew you would be parched in the morning. And I like took a big gulp of, you know, just when you wake up and you're like, thirsty, right?
Yes.
And like I took a big gulp of it and it was a flat mango White Claw. And I was like, oh, it was warm. I was like, oh,
that is the worst.
Disgusting.
And I was like, oh, it's going to be this kind of weekend. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Oh, man.
Here we go indeed.
Lock it in, man.
I will say this, and we talked about this a little bit because we stayed at different hotels, which I don't love. I thought it'd be fine, but I don't love it. I really wanted all of us to be together. Yeah. I think that the thing that Keegan and Tony and Chris and I were talking about was how much we loved Vegas our last trip because we stayed in Airbnb. We saved a shit ton of money by cooking meals. If we were done gambling, we didn't want to spend a bunch more money. We were just like, let's go back to the hotel and play rummy or like play cards or whatever. Like we had that time. We could hang out.
Yeah.
Like I want to do that again. I think that's like, go to the strip, have the fun strip stuff, but then have like, come back and
I'll
chill.
be honest. I just want to go to Big Bear. Like, I just want to kind of
relax.
I kind of was thinking about that for my
recharge.
birthday.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking about like, well, what do I want to do with my birthday? But I kind of do. I want to do that. Like, I kind of want to go to like Big Bear or.
Yeah. It's just nice.
That's
but
right.
I mean,
you won't be here. So.
She's very salty about this. I will be out of town for Cassie's birthday.
Charlie Brown over there.
She's really laying it on thick.
Good grief.
I forgot.
And I just remember.
It's just a real Eeyore moment for me.
Oh. Well, do we have any predictions about the upcoming year?
Oh, I'd rather not.
I'm very scared. I'm very scared to make any predictions whatsoever.
I did see a Reddit thread. Someone was like, we're going to learn the entire Greek alphabet. I was like, oh no.
I don't like that.
No more letters.
I hate it. But I mean, to be honest, like, not to be a downer, but like, yeah, that's kind of my prediction is just like, we're going to go through kind of the same cycle we've been going through, which is like, we're going to have, hot booster girls summer, and then it's going to go into fall and winter again, and we're going to all be like, what?
The hospitals are overwhelmed again? How dare they?
I predict this is going to be a my worst date year.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true. That's just facts.
That is facts.
I do feel that energy.
I feel that confident, amazing energy. We're going to bring it into 2022. We're going to try like hell to do live show.
We sure are. Gosh, fingers
Come what
crossed.
May.
Fingers crossed.
Come what may.
So yeah, we
we got plans. We got big plans for this year.
Yeah.
We're expanding our team. We've got ideas, man.
Yeah.
I do think that we did discuss, and I'm going to put the energy out there because I am not somebody who makes resolutions, but I am somebody who really feels like putting energy out and putting thoughts manifesting. I do believe in that. And I do think we did talk about in April doing a show in Springfield.
Oh yeah, because I'm going to be in Springfield for April and May. April and most of May. So
that's fucking too much. Wait a second.
Listen.
No, wait. Nobody agreed to all that.
We did. I
that is too
this with
fucking
you.
much.
I gave you the date.
That is 2 fucking months out of our entire lives. Honestly, how dare you? Like, what is happening right now?
Did you get permission from your mother to do that?
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
apparently. Jesus.
Wow. That is a lot.
Cassie has taken
That's 2
and
months.
I took that personally.
Listen, that's 2 months out of our 12 months that we have to spend together. And I feel cheated. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I think it's going to be a good year, and I'm putting it out there.
Yeah.
I am confident, and I am strong too. So if I say it's going to be a good year, God
damn it.
That's right.
That's
I believe
what
you.
the fuck it's going to be.
Yeah.
So, there
Honestly,
we go.
You just straight strong arm him, Christina.
I believe it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean business, and I said it.
Yep.
We're going to have a good time whether you like it or not.
That's right. Don't make me pull this year over.
Because I will.
I will fucking pull this year over. I will.
Quit hitting your brother.
2021 is bothering me. They're
touching me.
Stop the vagina.
Okay, so who should we fuck, marry, kill for the new year? I feel we should be aspirational.
Oh.
We ended our year with our crushes from last year.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
I feel like maybe we should do like our perfect, like who we are, not the Pete Davidsons, but you know what I mean?
You're like, in 2022, we're not making that mistake again.
We're not making those mistakes. We have grown. We have manifested. We have
man.
Like a Harrison Ford or something, right? I don't know.
Who's gonna be a 2022 hottie? Who's on the scene that we're just like,
you know who I'm feeling right now, and I feel like he's probably too young for me, but that's okay. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tom Holland. I don't know why. He's got this energy about him that I like. My friend Sarah, shout out Sarah, sent me a video of him, like Zendaya was like adjusting her dress on the red carpet, and he like stood in front of her so that the cameras didn't catch her. Like,
we like that.
Love that energy.
Oh, it's so sweet. He seems
He's
so
thoughtful.
genuinely thoughtful and like nice. And he's got that like not nice guy TM energy, but like genuinely good guy energy.
Yeah.
And I think that that's the energy we should be seeking in 2022.
Yeah, I think I have mine.
Okay.
All right.
I think I'm going Harry Styles.
Oh, love.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I just love.
I adore him.
Yeah, I just love the overall concept of
confident vibes.
Confident.
Yeah.
Competent. Like a real risk taker, like talented, willing to go outside the box and make moves and not like I like that.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. I love that I came up with this and I
have no
idea, which just tends to happen.
Yeah.
Opening my mouth first and just hoping that the words come out. Who do I want it to be? Who's on my radar for 2022?
Who's Loki?
Oh, that's Hiddleston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you've done Hiddleston before, though.
I have.
You know who keeps popping in my head is Pedro Pascal for some reason. I don't know who that is.
Yeah,
the Mandalorian.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's hot.
He's hot, and he is kind of still under the radar. Cassie's like, who is that? Yeah. Everything I've heard, he's
not. I've heard good things.
I've heard good things.
Yeah.
I'm putting it out there. Pedro Pascal, it's your year. Christina says it's so. 2022.
Yeah, if you could reciprocate that energy back at us, that'd be amazing.
Amazing.
He's like, my worst day, it's your year. Thank you.
Thank you. So here we go. We got Pedro Pascal.
Okay.
We got Harry
Why does he kind of
Styles.
look like Eric a little bit?
A little
in
bit.
this picture?
Spanish Eric.
Spanish Eric.
Harry Styles and Tom Holland.
Okay. Oh. No.
Okay. See, but that's the thing. There's no bad choices here.
There really isn't.
They're all lovely in their own ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Hit it so that we...
Oh, no, though. This is hard.
I think I know what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to fuck Harry.
Good choice.
I'm going to marry Pedro Pascal. Just because I do know who he was once I looked him up. I was like, oh, yeah. I like him.
You can nerd out with him.
He's very nerd out. And I just saw that he's supporting his siblings coming out as transgender, and I feel really I love this like strong energy. I'm real here for that.
Yeah,
he seems like a really cool guy. Like we would have a lot to talk about and a lot to nerd out about. He just seems to bring a lot of. I don't like doing it, but I have to.
It's okay. Listen, it has to be done.
Tom Holland just isn't my jam. I think that he's very sweet. And I'm here for that for them.
If I was here 20 years younger,
that's exactly right.
I would
too young for
marry him in a heartbeat. So like,
I think him and Harry Styles are similar.
Okay,
age.
calm down.
I'm just saying.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. He has a younger energy though for me. There's definitely like he may actually be the exact same age for all I know. But I feel like
Tom Holland is the guy
energy.
I had a crush on in high school.
For sure.
Tom Holland is the guy I should have had a crush on in high school. Like, because he's genuinely, like, nice. Harry Styles is the guy I had a crush on in high school. Where you're like, he was definitely in a theater production with you. He was in Rent with you, Harry Styles was. God, this is very hard for me. Okay, I need another second. Do you know what you're doing?
Yeah. I know what I'm doing.
Help, talk me into.
So they have invented a time machine, and for one night, I get to be 20 again, and I am going to fuck
Tom Holland.
Yeah, he's like a real nice guy. I have a feeling he's very giving.
Yeah.
He's got a very giving energy, and it would be.
If this is a fuck that's at the end of a date, that's culminated, he's the kind of guy who's like, he drove you up to the top of the city to look at the lights.
Oh, yeah.
This sounds awful.
Reservation at
amazing.
a nice restaurant.
And bought you ice cream. Like, he sounds like, just nice.
Yeah. So I'm gonna fuck Tom Holland. I am going to marry Pedro Pascal for the same reasons where I'm just like, there's so much I feel like we could talk about and connect on.
We're going to be friends.
That accent, too. Oh, God.
Yes.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
He's definitely listened to that simulation theory.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And
so has Harry Styles, by the way.
Yeah,
Both of them. Certainly.
And then, I got to kill Harry Styles. And it's only because like his energy is so cool that.
Oh, got it.
Maybe in 2023, I will come into an incredible amount of self-confidence and that sort of thing. But 2022 we're getting there.
Yeah.
But we're not quite there yet. So
I wore mom jeans in Vegas. I mean,
you're feeling.
I don't give a fuck.
Can I just say, I just have to brag for a second because I will never be able to do it again. I got carded twice on the floor at Vegas.
Wow.
2 separate instances.
I was like, this is my daughter. That's how I felt. I was like, guy came up to her and was like, can I see your ID? I was like, wow, I'm right here, bruh. Like, no ID from you.
I got to take these W's where I can get them. You know what I mean?
Retriggered.
Yeah. Retriggered. Exactly.
Hilarious.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that, Christina, because I've decided what I'm going to do. I am actually going to marry Harry Styles.
Okay.
And the reason why is because in 2022, I am going to be my coolest self. You are that
bitch.
Yeah, I am going to be my coolest self. And I think
I love it.
Harry Styles would... I feel like it could go one of two ways. He could either just by nature of being himself totally like outshine you, or
I don't think he would though. I think he's the kind of who's going to embrace
into his
you.
spotlight, right?
Yes.
And I think together we are going to wear so many sequins and feather boas.
That closet.
Yeah.
Ooh, actually, I hope he wears more than me.
Gorgeous. It's going to be so fun. Yes, I think it would be a very fun marriage. I think he'll make me feel confident and cool. And I like that. This is very difficult for me because I feel like an evening with Pedro Pascal would be...
An evening with Pedro Pascal. Sounds like our new special.
NPR thing or something.
An evening with Pedro Pascal.
I know that it was my choice and I said I was making better decisions in 2022. But I mean, none of these are bad decisions. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, better decisions.
We definitely cheated and gave ourselves all wins.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I think I have to fuck Pedro Pascal. Like, I just look at him.
Yeah.
He's sexy.
Present to you. Look at him.
Yes.
Yes.
Look and listen.
Yeah. And I've gushed about Tom Holland. I think he is amazing.
He's a friend.
And you don't fucking... Yes, he's for sure. Friend. You don't land someone like Zendaya if you're not incredible.
No,
so he's got to be, and like I think he is going to make like such... He's got to be just a wonderful partner.
He was a really good pick because I think, for right now, like he is a young baby angel Spider-Man. But I expect in the years to come, I think
he's going to grow into, I think, just, incredible. So, but... If it's I was trying to decide if I wanted to marry Tom Holland, but if it comes down to like who I'm gonna like spend a night with, it's got to be Pedro Pascal just because look at him.
Yeah,
I mean,
I have no other argument.
I mean, the end.
The end indeed. Gorgeous girls, good choices.
Thank you. Good choices were made.
Yeah. 2022, the year of good choices.
Yeah, that's right. And speaking of good choices, we have people that made the choice to become patrons.
Yay!
Good for
my
you.
God. What
good job.
Incredible
what a
segue,
win.
Christina.
Thank you.
Nice. That's nice.
I noticed that.
Yeah. Hey, you put it to the bat and I...
you just lined it right up. It was a line drive to the...
So we want to give a shout out to Rachel Douglas.
Hey.
Welcome to the Patreon family. And thank you so much. And I feel like we have another one too. We may have mentioned Caroline Hill bumping up her pledge. If we did, we mentioned it twice.
There you go.
Shout out to Caroline. Thank you so much.
Double.
We got a
Retriggered.
Retriggered. Exactly.
We've got your rewards coming your way. Feel free to reach out to us either via email or on Patreon for any requests that you'd like to see on there. If you have any questions, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for being patrons.
Welcome, worsties.
Yeah, we're going to start doing little short videos, kind of AMA style. So yeah, look out for those. Those are coming. We're talking about adding more episodes, bring the double dates back.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah, a lot of fun stuff happening in the next few weeks. So thank you. You guys want to take 5 and we'll come back with stories?
Sounds great.
Yes. And we're back. All right, Cass.
Okay, so I'm going to start us off with stories. I got this story from Reddit. And normally when we get people who send us stories, we, usually keep names anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
This story, I don't know if this person changed this person's name, but it's titled, I'm sorry, Jerry.
Oh.
Or Gary. It's Gery.
Oh, honey.
Wow.
What did you do?
Met on Tinder. We met at a bar I frequented to see how we would click. We were there for about 10 minutes before the bar back spotted me and came over to our table. I thought he was just going to come over and say hi. Nope. We spent the next hour listening to this poor man's life story and talking him off a ledge.
What?
He ended up starting to cry and just walking off of his job.
What?
Whoa.
He's having a rough time.
This is your first date with somebody. I just want to go to this bar that we know well so it's safe. And, we'll just get to know each other, see if our vibes, right?
This poor barback,
This guy's
though,
like,
for
what?
real, because, that he has such a shame receipt about that. Like, when you're at that place where you're just, off the rails emotional.
Well, I think he was like, this is a friend. I know her well. But that guy who's with her is probably like, what in the fuck is happening right now?
That's
an hour. Oh, my God.
No.
And then he walks off his job.
Just like, I'm
you
out.
know what?
I'm out of here.
Deuces.
Wow.
So it continues. We go to continue our date when my roommate sent me our safe word because she was also on a date at a concert close to us. So I told him I had to go get her. She was unsafe. He offered to come with me just in case it was something really bad.
Nice.
Nope. She was just drunk. She couldn't figure out how to order an Uber. We collect her and go to my apartment.
Like SOS. I can't figure this out.
Oh my God.
So we collect her and take her back to my apartment. She yells at him the entire ride that he wasn't saying my name, or he was saying my name wrong. He wasn't.
Oh.
And then crying about being a failure.
Oh God.
My God. This guy is
Listen,
getting all of it.
I really want to
man.
know what was going on astrologically at the time that everybody is having a fucking crisis. Was Mercury in retrograde? They're all like, my life is terrible.
We get to the apartment and I'm 4'11" and my roommate is 5'6". My date is 6'3". So he helped her get out to our 3rd floor apartment.
Wait. She's 4'11" and her date is 6'3".
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
All right.
tall guys, short girls. It's not. Yeah. I mean, that's
Yeah,
pretty.
I love it.
That's
my,
a thing.
my
It's a
grandpa,
vibe.
my
Yeah.
grandpa was 6'4", and my grandma was 5 foot even. So I mean, I
Oh
understand.
yeah.
but
Same. My
it's
grandma was teensy tiny. My grandpa was like over 6 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. My grandmother was like almost probably exactly these heights. To be fair.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So he helped to get her to our 3rd floor apartment. She proceeded to throw up on him not once, not twice,
No.
but 3 times.
This poor man.
One for each flight of stairs.
Oh
Oh my God.
So I've already decided I'm about to suck this man's soul directly from his body. I was dedicated to making this night better for this man. I may not have been able to save the night, but at least I can make it worth it. I should also note I like things pretty rough, so I'm encouraging this experience to be pretty intense. I'm thinking, ooh, this is good. I'm working this. So they're getting it on.
Yeah.
We go to switch positions.
Oh.
Your girl's favorite, face down, ass up. That's the way we like to fuck.
Yep.
When we get about 4 strokes in before all of a sudden this man leaps off my bed having a full meltdown.
Oh no. Oh no.
After I realized what happened and got over being mad, everything had stopped. I looked at him naked, limp, and screaming, and I realized...
Oh no. Oh no.
I realized he had one of my Lee press-on toenails stuck to his pubes.
Wait.
Why is there Lee press on toenails?
Wait.
I added the Lee press-on, but it says press-on toenails. He had one of my press-on toenails stuck to his pubes.
Who is pressing on toenails?
Why?
Did I miss something
Is
that
there a
we're...
trend that
No clue.
I should be up on?
I then realized Gary was experiencing 3 crises.
No.
1, he had gotten so rough he separated my toenail from my body.
He thought he ripped her.
2, I didn't flinch or react when said toenail was removed.
I was like, what is wrong with her?
And finally, that my mutilated toenail was now touching and attached to his body.
To his pubes.
Oh my man went through all 5 stages of grief and all in a minute. Looking back, I realized that I'm probably the story he tells when someone asks if he's ever met someone online.
My God.
If you're out there, Gary, I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow. A toenail.
Oh.
A press toenail.
They're either married or they don't talk again.
No, no.
Well, after a night like that, I'm sorry. That's
a lot.
That's cherry on top.
That's the universe being like, you know what?
It's the toenail on top of the shit cake.
It's the toenail on top.
Gross.
Of the shit
Okay. All right. Tinder date 3 to 4 years back wouldn't stop showing/talking about her knife collection.
Oh.
Which was easily 400 plus knives.
No, that's too many knives.
Even whipped out her favorite butterfly knife in a restaurant full of kids to show me and started flicking it around her hand.
Ooh, I don't like
that. No.
Bad vibes.
I don't like this.
Bad vibes.
Didn't you do the Tainted Love, Cassie of Catherine?
Yep.
Yeah.
Also had a favorite
An obsession with knives.
Yeah.
It's a you do you, but it's a weird vibe.
It's the meat curtains for me.
Oh, it is the meat curtains for me. It's too much.
After the entire date of her being extremely handsy with me, touching my hands, arm, running fingers through my hair, holding her hand on my inner thigh, I decided to touch her back for the first time after 3 hours by putting my arm around her shoulder while we were sitting down with
Retriggered.
with her hand rested on my thigh inches from my crotch. Her immediate reaction was to scream at the top of her lungs, "What the fuck are you doing?" while digging her very sharp nails into my face. This happened at a train station in Germany, which was very empty to my luck. I was confused, dazed, looking around because I know what it looked like. Big, creepy guy touching innocent girl. Yeah. I had blood dripping from my face from 3 different spots.
Oh, my
Scars
God.
on your face? No.
Yikes. She just says, "Oh, haha, sorry. That was my knee-jerk reaction. Sorry if I hurt you. Anyways, I was saying, my favorite video game is probably Mass Effect 3 or Zelda, blah, blah, blah." She carries on the conversation as if nothing happened while I'm trying my best to keep my face from bleeding. I'm in disbelief. I'm scared. I want out of there. Waiting for the train that was coming in 12 minutes felt like centuries. Train arrives, immediately jump in, don't even say goodbye, no eye contact. As the door is closing, she says, "Hope I get to see you again soon."
No. Hope I never see you again.
I lock myself in the train's bathroom and fall to my knees. Holy fucking shit, I thought I was going to get stabbed. Not only did she not get a second date, I didn't date at all for the next 3 years.
Okay, understandable a little bit.
Yeah, honestly.
P.S. I should mention that she was studying to become a mortician and was in possession of a real human skull. I thought this was a joke. Nope, guys, I'm sorry. Just trigger warning. I thought this was a joke because she sent me pictures of it where she had drilled holes into it to use as a pen/pencil holder.
Oh, I hate that.
Okay. Wow.
Why? I feel so bad.
That is a
for
real
this man.
human person that you just drilled
it's so scary.
hole in.
And I wanted to tell that one because, obviously, high percentage of women who end up on very scary dates on this podcast.
Oof.
But it happens the other way around too, where men feel unsafe as well.
Oh my goodness.
Very
400 knives.
Wow.
Why do you need so many?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
why?
people collect a lot of things, but yeah, that's somebody that's really
Hummel
into
dolls,
the macabre,
and dumb plates and shit.
Right?
Yeah, but knives,
Thimbles,
400 knives,
something, coins, stamps,
anything. Honestly,
okay. This one is what? What? He says, about 2 years after my divorce, I had healed up from a work injury. Decided to start dating again. Eventually met someone on an app and talked for about 2 weeks. She was 32. Conversations were good, and she was willing to talk about basically any subject, and we could talk for a couple hours each night easily. She had a couple of kids, which I didn't have a problem with, and she would talk about them, talked about how the dads weren't involved, 3 different dads. Okay, slight red flag, but some guys leave when a girl gets pregnant or they leave shortly afterwards. Okay, fine. We live 30 minutes away, and she drives to my place, and I'm driving us around on the date. While on the date, we're walking up some stairs, and she stops all of a sudden with me behind her, and as I'm walking up the steps, my hand bumps her ass, which makes her mad since we just met. I apologize profusely, saying I hadn't expected her to stop suddenly, and she lets it go a few minutes later, no big deal, even kisses me on the cheek. So we ended up going to lunch at a Chinese buffet. We get some plates, go to our table. She goes and gets 2 more plates of food, and I was looking like, okay, well, we haven't even started. But here's where it gets nuts.
Messy.
As we're talking, kids come up, and she talks about wanting more and how she's really fertile and loves sex every day and hopes I can give her sex as often as we're together. She then starts talking about how she would really want me to take care of her and her kids. And I had to knock her up every other year to keep her pregnant as much as possible since she loves being pregnant. At this point, I'm in shock. We're on our first date.
No.
Ma'am.
No.
Wow. What?
Can you imagine
No.
going on a date and someone's like, it'd be if a guy's like, I want to knock you up like
Every other year.
on a first date.
Mount.
So she's telling me all this, that she's always horny and even more so while pregnant and has enjoyed being with me and wants to see how it can work out long term. All I can think is this is how she was with those other guys.
Yeah.
And she already has 3 different dads for her kids. There's some more that came up, but she eventually didn't like the fact that while I was married, my ex also worked, especially when I was injured, something that this girl did not
She
want
doesn't
to do.
want to
No.
work. Okay.
She just wanted a sugar daddy to knock her up constantly and let her stay home.
Oof.
I feel like there's a website for that.
Yeah.
That sounds like a fetish, right?
Yeah, that's definitely a fetish.
Some people like
pregnancy fetishes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like,
I mean, I'm not going to lie. When I was pregnant, I definitely was like horny all the time.
Really?
But like, I don't want to get pregnant just
It's
to.
a bad reason to get
that's
pregnant.
not it.
It's a
you can be
very
horny
bad
otherwise.
reason. Yeah.
Billy, you're here because Mama likes to get
Have the sex.
Yeah,
Like,
a lot of
like,
it.
Oh my God.
That's not. We shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah. No, I mean,
It's not a great reason to want to have children.
No.
as well.
No.
I mean, like, that's a lot of
That's the
responsibility.
thing. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You should consider surrogacy or something. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Like
something. Yeah. Maybe they make like pillows and you can pretend you're pregnant or something. I don't know.
I don't think it produces the same hormones.
Oh, yeah. It's
Yeah.
just also a lot to lay at somebody on a very
fucking
first
nay.
time
Yeah.
meeting.
No,
them.
you get the
Listen,
check
I'm not
and
here to yuck her yum, but I am here to say, wow, that's not it.
That's not
That's not a first date. That's not how you do it.
For me, I'm like,
how
tell me
fast
about your
would
job.
you moonwalk out of there?
Oh,
Like,
shit.
Just so quickly.
I'll be right back. Never.
I have to go use the restroom. Taxi.
and there's something about it being like a Chinese buffet too. It's just like
You're
it's a
going through the
really
line, like picking up
intense
wontons. Like,
conversation to have over General Tso's chicken.
imagine. Somebody comes
Wow.
to refill your water. That's what they catch. Like
You-
little snippets of that conversation.
You know, we love a good like wait staff story.
Oh, yeah.
and overhearing.
Oh,
that
God,
person
it's-
was like filling all the cups
Uh-huh,
in the vicinity over and over.
Wiping the table behind, like, yikes.
Giving dude eye, like, are you safe? Blink twice.
Listen, alcohol has a diversion. You can get out of here.
Yeah, right. I'll spill
my
water
God.
on her something. I don't know.
I'm here for you.
Ooh, gosh.
Wowee.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was something. That might actually beat my Tainted Love. That's pretty extra.
Extra.
Yeah. All right. So I got my Tainted Love because we were just in Vegas, and you guys know I love a good Vegas story. So I was like, I kind of want something with a Vegas vibe.
Yeah.
And so I found this story through 48 Hours. And then I also found the Snapped
Oh, yeah.
episode about it.
Mm.
And there were a couple articles I'll put them in the show notes because I totally blanked on the name of the article and I meant to write it down. So I am actually going to tell the story in the way that Snap told it because I like the way, I don't know, sometimes you're like, how do I tell the story?
Yes.
Like, do I want to start with this or do I want to start with that? I'm going to start with this. On October 2004, construction worker is taking a little walkie from his desert path. It's Arizona. He's taking a little shortcut through like this kind of brushland desert area from his place to a convenience store on the main road. Doing a little walkie walk, and he gets his 6-pack of beer. It's his day off, and he's gonna go home and enjoy his day off. And he's taking a little walksy back, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna crack one of these open and sit on this nice little rug over here underneath the shade and pop back one of my beers.
Sure,
take a little break,
live your life.
What's a rug doing?
That's what he thought too. And so when he sat down, he was like,
register.
He's like, I'm drinking this beer, and he's like, wonder what's underneath this rug. So he's like, curiosity. He lifts up the rug, and it's a bin. It's like one of those big Rubbermaid bins. He's like, did I find treasure? No, so then he's like, I'm going to open this up. And so
you're in for a nightmare, my dude.
It is a bin underneath a rug
in the desert.
In the desert.
Yeah. No.
Why?
It's not treasure.
And it's true.
Could be.
It is true. I don't know why it didn't even. I was like, yeah, get your life, drink your beer. It didn't even occur to me. I'm like, yeah, what? Why? I don't think I would just sit down on a random rug.
No.
It's a long
in the middle of the desert.
It's a long walk. He wanted one of his brewskis.
I've seen enough Datelines now that I'm like,
what's this doing?
Turns out he was having brewskis with his broski in a box. And so he opens the box because treasure. And he's like, nope. That smells like not treasure. That smells like poop. And it was a torso.
Oh my God.
No.
But
would you ever sleep again?
A torso.
Ever sleep again? Ever?
Oh my gosh.
Just the torso of a human body. So that's the start of this story.
Oh my God.
Calls the police, of course. And the police come out to check out this body.
In the Arizona heat.
My goodness.
The body turns out to be one Jay Orbin. So let me tell you a little bit about how Jay got in the middle of this desert path and became a bar stool for a construction worker.
No. Oh my God.
All right. So Marjorie Crow grew up in Altamont Springs, Florida. She grew up dancing. She had a great life with her family. She's described as just a natural beauty. She's blonde, blue eyes, tall, leggy, beautiful dancer. She is, loving life and just has big dreams of dancing and just, has done it her whole life. She's very passionate about it. And she has, besides these dreams of being a dancer, she's always dreamt of having a family. Unfortunately, she gets some pretty rough news at 18 years old when doctors tell her she'll never have children. And so from that point, she's just like, you know what? I'm gonna.
At 18?
Yeah.
She got that news? Wow.
Isn't that awful?
Yeah.
You're the whole thing that you dream of doing your whole entire life is to be a mother and to dance.
Have a family.
And have a family, right? These are your dreams. I mean, imagine your teenage dreams.
Yeah.
And then to find out that one of those dreams was just never going to come true. She's like, you know what?
That happened to my aunt at 18. Same.
Wow.
She had to have everything taken out and everything. And it's just can't imagine that.
That's devastating. This is the beginning of your life.
Yeah.
Especially if that's something, I mean, it's hard for anyone, even if it's not something that you thought you wanted, to have the option taken away is terrible. But if it is something that you really know that you want, that's tough.
To have that ripped away from you, especially at 18 years old. This is the beginning of your life. And her doctors were just like, yeah, you're just not going to have children. It's not going to work out for you. And she's like, well, fuck this then. I'm going to live for me and I'm going to fucking just enjoy my life. I'm going to just do whatever the fuck I want and just live my life happy for myself then.
Okay.
And so by the time she's 25, she's on her third marriage because, damn it, she may not be able to have kids, but she still wants to have love. She's not trying to be living life alone.
There you go.
So her third husband, though, decides that
3 by 25, though, you're really,
you're working through it.
Hard. Yeah.
Yeah. You're going through them. By that age, she's also you know, her husband at the time was like, let's move to Vegas. And she's like, why not? Right.
Yeah.
She's young, living life. She's like, yep, let's move to Vegas. This is where she renews her passion for dance, and she gets a job as a showgirl, and she is like loving it.
I am loving this for Marjorie.
I love this for Marjorie. She is killing it. I mean, imagine Legs McGee over here.
Yeah.
Who's a dancer.
So many feathers.
Could there be a better job?
Yeah.
For her?
There you go.
Can't think of one. So she's living that showgirl life, and her husband is gambling that showgirl money right down the toilet.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Don't love that.
Nope. Hate it.
Don't love that.
She hated it too. And she was like, you know what? This is not what we came for. So
she's like, I've left husbands for less, sir.
Exactly.
I've left them for less.
And she was like, deuces Vegas, I'm out. And she makes it all the way to Phoenix, Arizona, and her car breaks down, and she's like, I could work here.
Guess I live here now.
Guess I live in Phoenix. Oh my God, it's Keegan.
I know. I would totally do that.
That's you. She's like, guess I live in Phoenix now. So Marjorie, for money, decides that, you know, she's like, I'm beautiful and I can dance. And guess what? There is a gentleman's club here and I could make a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So she goes and works at this gentleman's club and does just that. She starts making her money, and she meets this very, very like precocious guy, this guy who's really into her. His name's Jay. And he is just like into her. He's like, I want to take you out on dates. You're beautiful. And she's like, I know, I'm a dancer.
I know. Thank you
She's
so
like,
much,
I know, have you seen me? I'm literally, my looks pay for my way in life.
Yeah,
so, but she was like, you know, he's a nice guy or whatever, but she just, you know, was not really into it. They'd gone on a couple dates, but nothing super special
to her all
and
the
she's
time.
just literally got like, she just left a marriage from a guy who's like fucking pretty much flushed her entire career down the toilet.
Yeah.
So she's like, no. And by the time she just makes up enough money to get the fuck out of Dodge, she does. So she makes enough money and heads back to Florida. She's like here for a good time, but not a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so that's what she did. She made enough money to get herself back to Florida, and that's what she does. And once she makes it back to Florida, she ends up meeting like running into like an old friend of hers who actually happens to own tons of strip clubs. Like he is like the man who kind of really put gentlemen's clubs on the you know main stage, like the idea of a gentleman's club, right?
Oh, okay.
Like this, and he owned multiple clubs. He was a millionaire. Like he's just got so much money. And she's like, yeah, that'll do, pig. And he's like, his name's Michael J. Peter. And again, club owner, millionaire. I mean, we're talking like he's rich. He's the kind of rich that was featured. Literally, they were on
Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Yes, they were.
With Robin Leach.
Yep. Yes, they were. And she's just this beautiful blonde on his arm. And the relationship's actually really good. And they have a wonderful life. They travel all over the world. She's literally living it up. But in the job that he has, like, he's not like necessarily the most faithful guy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine. I mean, the guy's in around half naked to naked women almost his entire life. You know what I mean? So yeah, he wasn't necessarily the most faithful guy in the world. And so she's like, you know, I've had enough of that. Like I'm, you know, I want to move on with my world and get going.
Looking for love.
Yeah.
She's looking for true love.
She's like, you know, am I really living my dream? And she's like, I was really the most happy when I was a showgirl in Vegas. And so she's like, you know what? Let's take myself. I don't need no man to do this. I'm going to move my ass back to Vegas and become a showgirl again. And it's this showgirl life that actually leads her back to Jay. Her picture is featured as one of the showgirls on a billboard, and Jay is traveling and sees her billboard and is like, oh my God, lost love of my life. # the one that got away. And was like,
wow.
There you are, Marjorie, my dream girl. I've been missing you. And so he does. He reaches out to Marjorie and is like, oh my God, I have loved you forever. And I've literally, even though it's been a decade, 10 years since they had seen each other last, he's like been pining over her all this time.
Wow.
But now Jay is a little bit more mature, a little bit older, and also has a really great career and owns his own business, travels selling American Indian art as an art dealer, and travels all the time and is just making a boatload of money. I mean, he's no gazillionaire like Michael J.
Peters.
That's right.
Yeah.
Michael, thank you.
Wow.
I was almost said Michael J. Fox just because.
I almost was thinking it.
Yeah. I was like, wait, no, I gotta look now. So he is, he's not that kind of wealthy, but he's got money. And he's like, you know what? I want to provide for you. I love you. And you are literally the one that got away. I've lived my whole life thinking of you. These past 10 years have always been about like pining after you. I'm in love with you.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. I know.
would be a little creeped out by that.
I really want to have the like romantic, I want to believe in love and romance, but like I am side-eyeing that so hard.
Yeah.
I'm like, it would be a lot for somebody to be like, I went on a couple of dates with.
Yeah, imagine someone coming, like you run into somebody that you went on a couple of dates with.
Right. Like it's not like this is like your high school sweetheart or like someone who you like were in a relationship with. Like this
you
is
met him
someone
while you were dancing. He's some guy who thought you were hot. Like you went on a couple dates, like you said. Like it's not like
it would be weird to me to be like, I've been thinking about you for 10 years and I want you to come live with me and I want to provide for you.
He's ready for it though.
Laying it on.
Yeah. And he's so laying it on that he's like, the only thing she's ever wanted in her whole life is what?
The dance,
family.
kids,
have
family.
kids.
Yeah.
And now we're talking, this is like the 90s. So there's new procedures, there's new technology, there's all kinds of things that can be done now. And he's like, I also want a family. I want a wife. I want kids. And I am willing to do whatever it takes for that to happen for us. And she's like, you know what? I'm staring down the barrel of a career that has a timeline.
Right.
I mean, honestly.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, even now, she's got to be 35 at this point.
33.
So, yeah.
Right. Well, yes. So
Ish.
yes, around that time. Yes. So she's like, yeah, look, she's staring down the barrel of the end of a career that, again, it has a timeline. You're a showgirl. It is what it is. I mean, your knees aren't going to hold out forever. Like, let's be honest. Yeah. And it's not just about looks. That's part of it. But it's also just about like, how long are you going to be able to
keep that going? It's
keep
stamina.
It's
late nights. It's
That's right.
It's a lot of everything.
It is. And so she's like, you know what? Now isn't the worst time in my life to start a new chapter.
Yeah, right.
And she's like, and this guy is great, and he so loves me, and he's willing to.
I know this is going to take a turn at some point, but I'm loving Marjorie up to this point. I'm like,
Marjorie's had a life.
She's doing her thing.
She's doing the thing.
Yeah, burning bright.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm going to be retriggered, aren't I?
Yeah, I know. I'm feeling the same way.
This whole episode just called Retriggered. Also, we should explain Retriggered to anybody who doesn't know because
maybe, yeah, or we just keep saying it.
Or we just keep, when we were in Vegas, one of the slot machines, like if you hit them free plays, it'd say Retriggered, and I just love it.
Now it's machine that Cassie kept winning on, so like over and over, it just kept saying Retriggered.
It's like, well, that's a life saving.
Scream, bing, bing, bing. Cash and prizes,
cash and prizes, cash and prizes. So she does. They end up moving. They do get married at the little white chapel in Vegas, right on the Sunset Strip. Nope, the Vegas Strip, and they moved to Phoenix in his beautiful home. And after about $100,000 and a year's worth of trying, she does get pregnant, and they have their son.
Wow.
And in 1996 or no 90. It doesn't matter. It's really not that important to the story. Sorry, guys. So they end up having their son, and it is glorious and wonderful, and everybody is so thrilled. And he is so cute. She's just this beautiful blonde, and he's this little beautiful towhead boy, and they're so happy. And he, but his life is on the road. I mean, he's traveling 2 weeks at a time. Every 2 weeks, he's on the road, traveling, selling, and
you know what quote comes to mind with this whole Marjorie thing, and I think it was an Ed Hamill song. Remember, I don't know. Ed Hamill is a guitar player for Ani DeFranco that used to perform with the theater troupe that I used to belong to, and he has a song, "Some Hearts Need a Lot of Loving." Marjorie's like one of those people that has like a big empty heart. Like some hearts need a lot of loving.
It has to be refilled.
She needs, her tank is very large.
Yeah, and it needs. She seems like somebody that needs a lot of love.
Yes,
and
attention.
Yeah, some people need to be with people. Yeah. Like there are people who can be, take it or leave it, are totally okay on their own. And then there are some who.
That's a really good point. Yeah. I didn't even think about her this way until you said that. But you're right. Like And she is so happy. I mean, like, honestly, she's got a son now. I mean, these are things that she never thought she was going to have. So I think that, I think probably part of her thought that would fulfill her, and that would be, I mean,
I think a lot of people feel that way too.
Stay-at-home mom. This is going to be the dream come true,
and not just in this situation. Like, not just when it comes to, like, I'm not speaking just about like mothers or people who have families, but I think a lot of people have this idea of like, if I could only achieve X thing, then I'll feel fulfilled and happy and contented, and like that's just not the case most of the time.
Not how it works.
Yeah, I know somebody like this, and I'm like,
because the X keeps changing.
It keeps moving.
Exactly. I just call it in my head. I call it big heart syndrome.
Yeah,
but I mean, I'm not a professional or whatever. But I'm just like, that person has a big heart, and it just
needs a lot.
Yeah.
Well, and again, she was very happy. I think they were all very happy. But he was spending a lot of time on the road, and
motherhood's hard too. Like, even if it's great, it's still a lot, especially when you're on your own a lot of the time.
It's funny to me too. Okay, this kind of reminds me of something like kind of what you're saying, Christina. I have a friend who has a girlfriend that he moved to his home in another country. And he moved this girlfriend from the States to where he lives. And he's like, oh, we're having some, like a little bit of clashing. And I'm like, yeah, but you also moved her to you. She has to rely on you. She's probably an independent person who now has to be dependent, which is difficult. It's hard for the person that they're dependent on, because then you feel like you're carrying all the load. I'm like, this is it's so much bigger than just wanting to be with somebody. You taking somebody who's like been independent, carried their own weight their whole entire lives, and now they are dependent on someone else for everything, for their money that comes in the home. And not that they're not able to do everything they want to do, but if you are somebody who's been a strong, independent person, to now be reliant on someone is very difficult.
Yeah, and it just takes a while to get your footing in a new town.
New town. You're trying to learn new people. You're trying to find new people. How do you find new people when you're a stay-at-home mom?
And you also have someone who's dependent on you for everything too. Now, which you didn't have before.
It's just a big change. And I don't think people take that into consideration. I think that a lot of people are like, you should be happy. You don't have to do anything. But that's part of the problem if you've been somebody who has always done something.
Right.
Totally.
I can't imagine being dependent on anybody. No. I mean, I was pretty much for, minus the small amount I was bringing in on unemployment. Like, I was dependent on Chris. I fucking hate it.
I'm the same way. I
hated it.
I really struggle with that. I want to feel like I'm pulling my own weight.
100%. I need to know that I'm contributing as much as, if not more.
Yeah. And relationships go through ups and downs, and like, there's always going to be times when like someone's doing more than whatever. But this would be very difficult. This is a lot of life change. Like, you're dependent on someone else. You have someone who's dependent on you. You're trying to figure out, even if it's what you want, there's a learning curve, I'm sure, to motherhood. Like,
I mean, and not to say that she wasn't taken care of when she was with Peters. Like, I mean, that guy was carrying the weight for sure, but it's a different weight.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he doesn't really have to, he probably didn't have to go into a weekly job. Like, he's just wealthy to be wealthy's sake. And I mean, you're probably spending a lot of time together. You're going places, you're doing things. So you're constantly being occupied with stuff and things that are going on. Now you're just being occupied as a housewife when you've always had a showgirl life. Life. You've had a life, and now your life is, wrapped around this thing that you always thought you wanted, which is not to say that she didn't love being a mother. I just think that she was, I don't want to say bored, but maybe.
Some people thrive as housewives, and like that's
for sure
what they want, and they're very happy and content that way.
Right. I think that girl on the date that Christina was just talking about would have thrived.
Oh yeah.
This is where she lives for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They would be very happy together. Retriggered. Exactly. And she's like, re-pregnant. Oh my God. You just had a baby. I know. Beep boop boop. Oh, so anyway, they've been together for quite some time, and their son's 8th birthday comes up, and
oh wow, okay. Fast forward.
Yeah, fast forward. Their son's 8. He's been traveling. This is, all part of the scenario. Jay is out on the road. He comes back. This has always been his thing, though. Like, he may travel for work, but he always has made time to come back for important events, birthdays, anniversaries. He's always there for important things, right? Like, he is his own boss, so he can kind of control a little bit of that as far as, like, you know, when he can be on the road or when he has to be on the road, etc.
Right.
So he's back. He comes back for his son's birthday and then apparently takes off again. And he was supposed to be back for his 45th birthday. And so he had talked to his mom earlier that day on his 45th birthday and, you know, was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to head back in town and I'll see you guys tonight. And then nobody heard from him again. And so his mom, Joanne's like, hey, Marjorie, trying to get a hold of Jay. Can't reach him. And she's like, oh, yeah, just talk to him. He went back out on the road. He actually was going to come home, but, you know, our son's sick. He has the strep throat. He didn't want to get sick, so he decided to hit the road again. So, yeah, just, you know, I've been in touch with him. He's fine. Okay. Well, then, like, a week passes. And still no one's hearing from him, but Marjorie's heard from him, so he must be fine. You know?
Yeah.
So she's like, yeah, no, I talked to him. But then, like, things like work things start coming through, like shipments aren't going out like they're supposed to. And so the business people keep getting a hold of Marjorie, and she's like, yeah, no, I've been able to talk to him.
Marge,
Oof.
stop it.
But eventually,
how do you think this is going to end?
Yeah.
Eventually, though, the family is like, Marge, you really need to call the police. I mean, nobody's heard from him.
What are you talking about? He keeps calling me. I don't know what the deal is.
She's like, fine, I will call and put a missing persons report out then. So she calls and kind of is like, yeah, I'm going to report my husband missing. Anyway, she's like, they were like, well, do you know his license plate number? She's like, not off the top of my head, which, to be fair, I was thinking about it, would certainly not.
No, I don't know my own.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know where to find it because I'm assuming all the paperwork for it was probably in the car as well.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, I don't even know where I would find it.
Call the DMV or something?
I'm like, can't you look that shit up? You're the fucking police.
Right?
You tell me.
Yeah, right? You got any?
I'd be like, quick, tell me your wife's license plate off the top of your head right now.
I have no idea.
So, but she doesn't know. And she's like, I'll get back to you. She doesn't get back to them. And it's like 3 days later. And
ma'am.
And the police are like, the detective that she talks to calls her back and she's like, hey, yeah, so has anybody heard back from him yet? I mean, where are we at? You know, you never got back to me. And she's like, yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I filed the report, but he's not really missing. I mean, I've been in contact with him and it's fine. And he's been out of town. She's like, you know, and
Marge.
And so she's like, okay. And she calls back like a couple of days later and she's like, so where are we at on this missing person? And she's like, yeah, I don't know. They're like, well, would you be willing to come in for a lie detector test? And Marjorie's like, they want me to come in and do a lie detector test. And some guy in the background said, well, you can tell them to fuck off.
What?
Whoa.
And she was like, I'm sorry, one more time. The officer's like, somebody's in the background? Who'd that be? So that was enough suspicion for them to get a warrant because they're like, we need to know what's going on. Yeah, obviously, you may have
strange situation.
It's a very strange situation. So what's happening here? And the family is like, what the fuck is going on? So they fucking SWAT team.
Oh, wow.
Fucking come in to execute a warrant. They fucking come in, break down the fucking door. Dude, the big
They were
dude,
waiting for this. They were like, oh,
Yeah.
I can't wait to break in
Dude,
this new
can
SWAT
you
equipment.
imagine? They were like,
Yeah.
They're like unwrapping things off
And they're like,
plastic, like,
Ooh,
toys.
shiny.
yeah. They break in this fucking house and this dude comes at them like he's going to do something. Of course, I'm sure he doesn't know it's the goddamn SWAT team coming in and breaking into their house. He probably just thinks somebody's breaking in. They fucking taser him.
Oh my
balls. They bust his nose. They have a picture of him. He's got like blood all over his face. I'm like, dude.
I will say, this feels like an
It's
overreaction.
so extra.
Like, this seems like
to
too much.
execute a search warrant.
Like, meanwhile, we have no budgeting for like
Thank you.
schools or healthcare,
Right.
but
Thank
we
you.
can just like go in with military grade weapons to knock this person's door down.
They go at
For
her
one
with a
missing
fucking
person?
gun.
Yeah.
They're like on her like with guns.
Sorry.
SWAT team. They're going down the
No.
hallway and she's like, my fucking kid's here. There's a kid down there.
Oh my God.
Can you
Not
imagine?
cool. Listen,
For a missing person,
No.
has anyone ever
Stop.
gone
Stop
that over.
That hard
for a missing person
County.
ever.
I feel like it is.
It's Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
And it's a white guy
strong
missing.
Police presence.
There we go.
But I was just like, I've heard some missing person cases, and I have never.
And it's not even like, as far as the police know at this point, there's a wife that's being like,
shady.
She's like shady.
Yeah.
But she's like, I've talked to him, but
Right.
blah, blah, blah. Like, it's
Right,
just,
you can
she's
think
not
she's
worried.
lying, but just go bring her in then. Like, I don't understand. Like, what? Why?
Well, she didn't want to do a lie detector test, and they were like, "Well, no, fuck you then." Wow,
we're gonna knock your door down and tase your boyfriend.
wow.
So they're like, "Who's this?" And she's like, "That's my boyfriend." And then she's got a little surprise for the police. She's divorced. They haven't been married for like a year after they got married. They got divorced.
Wait.
What?
But they had been living together as
What?
husband and wife
Why?
because she had some kind of like IRS lien against her from a previous marriage that had come into play. And she was like, I don't want this to have anything to do with my new husband. I don't want this to affect him. So they were like, let's just get divorced and let's live, obviously like we're married.
Right.
They had a great relationship. There's no reason to actually get divorced, except she didn't want this to affect his, income or affect his business or anything like that. So they had gotten divorced years and years before, but no one knew.
Fucking layers, man.
No one knew.
Layers.
But also, she was like, as far as anyone knew, they were like a married couple.
Yes.
And she's like, but we started out getting divorced because of that, but then we kind of grew apart. But it doesn't seem like anyone.
Did he know that?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the question that no one knows. So, but at this point, they don't have anything, so they have to let them both go. They like
What a waste of resources. I am
Huge.
furious about this situation.
Yeah, right.
Like,
they don't find really anything in the house except that his stuff really isn't there. Like they don't find many pictures of him. There's a few, but all of his clothes have been packed up there in the fucking attic, which is weird because he does live there.
Yeah, that's
so
strange.
they find weird things, but they don't find anything that would
be evidence of a crime.
The only other thing that they notice is that in the garage that it had been repainted and that there was a new epoxy cover on the floor. But again, that's not proof of anything.
They're like, where's your rug at? I haven't seen a rug in here.
Yep. Where's the garage
in the
rug?
garage rug?
Where's the garage rug?
Well, you just got rid of your garage rug? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
okay.
right.
Cool. So the boyfriend, though, is Larry Weisberg. And she had met Larry at the workout facility that she went to, like the fitness center. She was like, of course, like a big in being fit because, I mean, she was a dancer. And of course, looks were her thing always.
She made money on her body.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And so this guy is a guy that she met there. They'd been dating for like 3 months. Seemed all on the up and up. And as far as Larry knew, she was just a divorced woman who had a copacetic relationship with her ex.
Larry's
she
like,
did know.
I did not sign up to being tased.
Yeah, right.
Happening?
Oh my goodness.
So, they go through everything, and they're just like, again, nothing to suggest that there's anything that can hold them. So they got to let them go. But things are like I said, adding up. There's like those small little things, all his box up clothes, et cetera, et cetera. They do start to go through Marjorie's financials, though. And this is when they start to see things like she has been cashing checks ever since the last day that somebody had heard from Jay on his birthday. Every day since then, she has been cashing out $500 from the account every single day in cash.
Well, that is not suspicious at all.
Yes.
Don't be
Daily
suspicious.
cash withdrawals.
Yeah.
She was also spending tons of money. Like, she is racking up credit cards. She bought like a $10,000 fucking grand piano, a fountain for her front yard.
What?
She is just
For
going
what?
hog.
I'm
Just going
extra.
hog.
Just so extra.
Right. I mean, and seriously, too, like for somebody who's divorced, your financials are all still pretty linked, it seems,
Yeah,
because
that's what
you're
I
able
was-
to pull out all this money.
That's what I was going to say. It's
Yeah.
like, I thought you were divorced, ma'am.
Mhm.
Like,
Well, one of the things that came up super suspicious was one of her shopping trips was to Lowe's, and it was $500 worth of cleaning supplies.
That's a lot. And I am like a cleaner. I buy a lot of my cleaning.
Are you
stuff
hundreds of dollars worth of cleaner?
No.
And one trip. See, look, I've spent like a big amount of money. When I first moved out of my parents' house, got my first apartment, I went and got like the cleaning supply kit.
That's because you needed all of it new. Yeah. Like you didn't have anything.
Yeah,
like I can see that when you need all the basics.
You're in a well-established home.
Yes. Yeah, you should have the basics at home. What are you spending $500
Well, she needed
on?
acetone apparently, and additional
large
bleach
quantity
and large quantities, and you know, a new new mops, and you know,
was there any
hundreds of dollars worth
tarp and or duct tape involved? Because I feel like that's always what it is,
right?
A shovel, maybe.
I mean, at this point, that's just a large order of cleaning supplies, right? So it's on October 23rd when the police, though, get that call from the construction worker who just happened upon a torso in a Rubbermaid bed. Problem is, it's just a torso, and for them to confirm, you know, they can't really confirm who it is with just the middle of a body, basically. And from what they can tell, it's just a middle-aged male. That's what they've got from this torso. And in his jeans pocket, there's a little bit of money, but there's also car keys to a Ford. And he happens to just be in the same room. The guy who goes out to find this murder is also in the same room going through his stuff while there's a missing persons team who's talking about this missing person. And they had just found his truck. His Ford Bronco. And he's like, that's weird. This torso had Ford keys in it. What are the odds that maybe these keys could turn over that truck? Well, it sure does.
Oh my God.
And that's how they ID? Wow.
Initially. That's how they initially like quickly identify who it is.
Also,
right? Without
can I just say, you're going to go through the trouble of leaving just a torso in a box, but you left his keys in his pocket?
Yeah.
A million questions, right?
Why would you do that?
Well, it seems likely that I'm going to tell you the different scenarios here, right? Okay, so the first scenario is that they do go back. They find out that Marjorie had not only purchased cleaning supplies, but she also purchased 2 large Rubbermaid blue bins. And the fucking barcodes match the fucking receipt. So they know that she basically bought his coffins.
Right.
Well, they found one, right? So now they can link her directly to his murder. The problem is that there's also the possibility that there's 2 people involved. Is Larry also involved? Could she have taken apart a human? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, could she have killed somebody and like done this? Like, she's, you know, well, I mean, just physically.
That burp guy did it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Do you remember? What's his face? From the Jinx.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love that burp guy, and I was like, immediately like, yes, I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah, Durst. Robert Durst.
Robert Durst. Okay.
Yeah.
Why is he burp guy?
Because of his burps.
His burp confession.
Yeah.
Oh, no. No.
But, like, yeah, I mean, I think you also did Omima.
I did do Omima.
Yeah, you love a good cannibal story. But yeah, you did Omima. And that was kind of the big thing with her was that, you know, she was kind of a petite woman, and like she got caught because she went and asked somebody for help because she's like, I'm tired. I'm trying to dismember this body. I'm exhausted. Can you please come help me?
Oh my God.
So,
but yeah, so I mean, that's like really kind of the only question is like, what could she have done it alone? You know, was she working with somebody? Was Larry involved in this? And so, you know, they do kind of quickly determine that he probably didn't have anything to be involved with it. They do, like I said, they link all the equipment back to her. Right. She's the one who bought all the stuff. Also, too, one of the things that was kind of suspicious is she's like, well, how am I going to get his life insurance policy? And so she had been inquiring about his life insurance. And this is when he was just missing. And they were like, well, they have to determine, you know, like they either have to find his body or they have to legally say that he's
a weird
dead.
Thing. If either of you, if your like husband's boyfriend was missing and you were like, I just don't know how I'm gonna get Chris's life insurance.
Okay.
I'd be like, what?
I'd side eye a little bit on that.
A little fucking bit? You better side all your eyes.
Yeah. I'm like,
we're still looking for him, Cassie. What?
I was just hanging posters. So, like, what's going on?
Yeah, maybe you should pause. Yeah. Maybe don't worry about that life insurance just yet.
Other things on the table first.
I mean, goodness.
First things first.
But so they're like, okay, well, that's probably why we're suddenly able to find a body kind of semi in the open. I mean, this isn't like buried in the middle of a desert nowhere land. This is like on a path in like a shrub.
7-Eleven. Yeah, right?
Yeah, like
pretty much.
You know, like, yeah, it's not a well beaten path, but it is like, it's not completely in the, I mean, like, you're in fucking Phoenix.
Found.
Like, you could find a nice desert location. Hell, you could take it up to the Grand Canyon, kick that bitch over or something. I don't know.
Yeet. Not to give you any ideas.
No. I feel like you probably couldn't. I have a feeling that place is well patrolled.
Yeah.
But at any rate, so they were like, yeah, it seems likely that she did this. And it also seems very suspicious that suddenly she's like, oh, how am I going to get that money? Oh, they got to find that body? Okay, well, here you go. So wow. They arrest her, and they put her in jail in Maricopa County. And her prison roommate was like, yes, we are definitely dating. And I got to tell you, she definitely murdered her husband.
She's dating already in prison?
She's got a big heart.
Big heart. Big heart syndrome.
Listen,
she
needs
got
to go to therapy and figure out how to be alone. Like,
yeah.
Come on.
Some hearts need a lot of loving.
This one needed a lot. And but her, obviously her cellmate is not necessarily probably the best resource. And she's like, yeah, she said that the dogs ate the rest of them. And like, just like the story, it was like, kind of like, okay, that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't seem very plausible, right? Like, it just feels very
elaborate.
Yes. And also to like, you are going to get something out of this.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So she's not the most reliable source. Then her boyfriend, Larry, takes the stand and says, she's definitely strong enough. She's been working out. That was his testimony for him to get out of it.
Wow.
That's his testimony.
Larry's like, I've been her spotting partner. I can see what she can bench press.
Right?
That woman is
strong.
A beast.
She could do it.
Yep.
Beast mode.
I'm sorry, but that also is evidence, or that's him saying it based on him getting out of it. He got immunity to give testimony.
Right.
So, of course, he's going to say whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not saying that she did or didn't do it. I don't know. And what I'll say is that she did get prosecuted for it. She did go to jail. She is serving a life sentence.
She did buy the bins.
I'm not saying she's not part of it. But what her defense was trying to say, though, is that this whole thing was actually, he came home early. That Jay had come home early. Yeah. Larry was there. He scared Larry, so Larry shot him. And that's when they were like, we have to get rid of this body. So
that is actually a plausible story.
It's also a plausible story. So I'm not, like I said, was she involved? For sure she was fucking involved. Did she shoot him? Did she kill him? Was she the person who did all of that? I don't know. I'm not saying that she's not strong enough to do it. She very likely could have, especially when you cut somebody up. But a whole torso is very fucking heavy.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I promised to tell you guys about me getting high the other night. And there was a listener that sent us an article that was rather critical of the show Snapped. And it was
I saw that.
Really great read. But it was like, we are getting one side of it.
That's
which
right.
is why I'm glad that you presented her defense as well. But I was watching.
They were not good about showing. It was one-sided.
It is one-sided.
Snapped was very one-sided.
Correct. Yeah. So then I got to thinking, because I had my little like edible tea, and I was laying in bed like watching this thing, and I'm like, oh, I only get like one side of things sometimes. I'm like, how do people decide what's true? Mm-hmm. Because, especially like history and stuff is written by the victors and often comes from a Western perspective. And I'm like, what is reality? I mean, I spiraled hard. I was just like, how does anyone know what is
That is
true?
why I don't do the weed.
No, amen,
like,
girl.
Really?
Same.
I'm gonna spin out completely.
No, but it is true. I had watched the Snapped episode, and I was like, I like the way they presented the information in the order that they presented it. I didn't but I agree with you. It's true. It was very like, nope, this is what happened. She is a salacious being and she's awful, but they told it in a salacious way. That's the way they want it. They want it to be like hyped up like she's some monster. And I'm like, I'm not saying that she's not. I'm not saying that she's not. And maybe it's very likely that maybe she did. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that there is a reasonable doubt here. I think that, the case that's presented from the prosecution or the defense side is that, is also very fucking plausible.
Right. It's plausible, but what's the evidence though? Like there's
what's the evidence? There's just as much evidence on her as him.
It's the bin. It's
the
bin.
You're right. You're right. Like, there's
definitely
no physical
involved.
There's no physical evidence tying him to it at all. Yeah. It's just her saying that he did it, and not to say that that's not possible, but you can't prosecute him on that.
Sure.
Like you know, so like there is physical evidence that she is tied to that murder,
and maybe someday they'll find more of his remains, like that would have a bullet.
The bullet was. I'm sorry, the bullet was in the actual bin as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean,
but I don't. There's no talk of like them finding a gun. There's no talk of like any other physical evidence that ties this, except that she bought the bin.
Convicted of first degree
murder. So she's spending life in prison. Her in-laws said that they did not want her to face the death penalty because she has a son, and she's like they didn't want him to physically lose another parent. And so they were like, we don't want her to face a life sentence or a death penalty, but we would, life in prison's enough.
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, obviously. But like, it does seem like first degree. How do you prove that it was first degree?
Beyond a reasonable doubt.
Unless she bought all of that stuff before he came home. Because if she bought all of the cleaning supplies and the bin and everything before he came home, then I think you could probably prove first degree.
That's right.
But if not, if it happened
That's
after,
a really good
then
point.
How do you know?
I do believe it was after.
Okay.
Yeah, then I don't know how you prove that.
I would have to double check that.
Yeah. That's
but
interesting.
That's really interesting. I wanted to present it that way because I just was like, I did more than just watch the Snapped episode, so it made me kind of question some of the information.
Right.
It's so funny because I didn't read the email. That we got.
It was really good. It's just basically about saying like, you're getting one side of the story. Oftentimes it is just the prosecution, or the police. Often. You're getting their side of the story, and Lord knows we know
can't trust
they never
the police.
make things up, or anything like that. So.
Oh my God, did you hurt yourself? Keegan rolled her eyes so hard. I think they almost fell out.
I did just about give myself a migraine doing that.
So I definitely think when we do these things, I like that we kind of like look at different articles and everything.
Definitely.
Too. But I mean, we watch so much true crime now. I actually can tell. So I'm like, man, this feels really forced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes you watch that episode, you're like, I don't know about that. know? So. Oh, wow.
That was give me 1 second. I'll tell you the article. Sorry, 1 second. I also found some information on Murderpedia, but it was the East Valley Tribune that I found an article, and that was one of the original articles that was written at the time of the, and it was written by
local paper,
and it's written by an Irene Sao, HSIAO, Sao,
maybe
Irene Sao.
Excellent.
So, yeah, I love a local paper too, and I wanted to shout that out too because it was very specific. It wasn't just like an episode on TV.
Yeah,
kind of
love
thing.
it. So good. That was a good one. Wow, I didn't know that one at all.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
It's funny.
It took me for a ride too.
I always do that thing, and I know we all do. It's like, wow, I don't know what I'm going to do, and you go through like, and I was like, well, this feels thematic since we just went to Vegas. It was like something kind of Vegas related.
There you go,
showgirl.
And
so
definitely.
Yeah.
Ooh. What are you guys watching this week?
Oh, I have one for you. Okay, so and because I know you guys will love this show, it's called Cardinal on Hulu.
You were telling me about that.
It's on Hulu. Chris and I found the show, and it has got very much a Mayor of Easttown vibes, in which it's like a series. It's 4 seasons, but each season has an overarching arc of one murder. So you're trying to solve throughout, and it is so fucking good. It takes place in Canada. It's a CBC show.
Oh, great!
But and it's really good. It's it's
up our alley.
It's 100% up your guys' alley. Yeah. It's really, really good. High recommend.
Totally.
Well done.
Well, yesterday I went and saw West Side Story in theaters. Oh my God. So the original West Side Story movie, I grew up with it, loved it. Is one of my favorite, like all-time favorite, musicals and movie musicals. So I rewatched that in preparation for going to go see the new one. And and it totally holds up. You know, by the way, like it's still great. There's a reason why it won like 10 Academy Awards.
And this one might too, right? Like from what I've heard, it is banger.
A work of art. This movie was, it's Steven Spielberg directing a musical.
Yeah, I really want to see it in the theater.
Beautiful. I would definitely recommend seeing it in the theater. I was like, I don't know, because like Ansel Elgort and everything. And I'm like, I'm not sure. But it's so good. It's so well done. The changes that they made, I think, were strong changes to make it more of a film. Whereas like the last movie felt very much like a musical.
Filmed musical. A filmed musical,
And this one felt like a Steven Spielberg film that had all of the music from the original.
Brilliant. Okay.
And the dancing and everything. Everybody's very strong dancers. Rita Moreno is in it. They rewrote one of the characters so that Rita Moreno could play it.
I love it.
I loved it. I loved it.
Nice.
That's great.
Well, I mean, I already told you guys about Repo Men.
Yeah. We know what you do at night. Watch rich people lose their shit, and I love it.
I also got the chance to sit down with Eric, and we when we got the night we got back from Vegas, we ordered a pizza, exhausted, and watched Death to 2021.
Oh, was it good?
I was crying laughing.
Was it as good as last year?
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it today.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it.
So funny. If you guys watched the first one and you liked it, you'll like this one just
I didn't
as
watch
much.
the first one.
Death to 2020
is
was
also
really
great.
funny.
Oh man.
So definitely worth it. I wanted to, get it out before the new year, and it was perfect. So.
Nice.
Love that.
Well, if you guys have something that we should watch, if you have a Tainted Love story suggestion, if you've got a terrible date you need to get off your chest,
Tell us.
To our one-stop shop of a website. It's myworstdatepodcast.com. And Happy New Year and happy birthday to me.
Yeah,
and we love you so much.
Cheers.